So when I was in college, I went abroad to Ireland. And looking back at that time, I'm still shocked by how fervently I made so many bad life choices. Like when I arrived in Dublin, I immediately spent all of the money that I had saved up over the summer for the trip on clatterings. Now, that would put me in a pretty bad spot, but I had the foresight to take out a credit card. So that was a pretty good deal until I realized that I would be paying the principal plus interest for the next 13 years. But you know, I didn't have to worry about that at the time because I could just spend every night heavily drinking at a pub. So that was a pretty good situation until I started to feel really bad from the drinking. And then I started not being able to sleep well. I would go to bed, and then every night I would wake up startled by something. And I didn't know what it was. But you know, the more sleep that I lost, the more stressed out I got about it. And finally I just decided that I needed a mental break and I needed to go on vacation to Paris. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Ryanair had very inexpensive flights and I had a credit card. So, you know, I got my ticket, and then the night before my flight, I went out to the pub with my friends, and we spent like 6 to 7 hours drinking, and I ate like a newspaper full of French fries, and I missed my flight. But that's okay because I had the credit card, so I could just purchase another same-day flight to Paris, business class, because I deserved it. So unfortunately, the beauty of Paris was lost upon me, and I still felt terrible. I was like, I still wasn't sleeping through the night. I kept waking up startled, and when I got back to Ireland, I was starting to get sick. Like I had a flu or the cold or something, but I couldn't get better. But luckily, I had enough balance left on my credit card to go see a doctor and get some vitamins. But if I spent the balance on that, then I wouldn't have enough money to go out drinking every night. So I decided, you know, I'm just going to buy some store brand throat lozenges and just deal with it. But one night when I was feeling particularly bad and drunk, I just decided this is it. You know, I had this brilliant stroke of good judgment, which was very uncharacteristic for me. And I'm like, I just need to stop going out. I've got to just stay in my apartment and eat healthfully and stop drinking and just get better. So I did. So for 2 weeks, I stayed home. I didn't go out, and I felt great. I was sleeping through the night. I felt fantastic. So of course, I decided that that I needed to celebrate this. And I was going to take everybody out for this big, extravagant pub crawl. We were going to have a great time, and we did. We had a fantastic time. And that night, as we're walking home, I was really drunk, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it home, so I'm just going to sleep. A couple of my friends were going to stay with a classmate who lives in the city. So we get there, and I go to sleep on the couch. I immediately fall asleep because I'm really drunk, but then it happens again. I wake up startled. But this time, I heard it. It sounded like a engine starting on a motorcycle or a big boat. And then I felt it, like the deep vibration. And then I realized why I felt it. Because it was coming from my butt. It was coming from my butt. Oh my God. I was waking myself up every night to the sound of my own farts. That's what it was. And I'm just like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is wrong with my body? I'm sure it has nothing to do with my very poor diet that is 90% liquid. So I'm freaking out, and I'm processing all of this in my brain, and then I have this even more terrifying thought that this really cute boy, Adam, was sleeping on the couch right next to me. And there is no way that he did not hear this. Sonar picked this up. But I figure I just convinced myself, I'm like, he didn't hear it. He was super drunk last night, and he passed out, and he's probably still sleeping, and I'm just going to go over and whisper his name very quietly. And then when he doesn't respond, I'll know that he didn't hear it, and everything's fine. So I kind of lean over to him, and I'm like, hey, Adam. Hey, Amy, what's up? I was wondering when you're gonna wake up. How are you feeling? Now, Adam never mentioned the fart explicitly. And I don't know if it was because, he didn't hear it, which was impossible, or if he's just a very nice person, or if he's a terrible person. He's telling everybody about this all over town. But I did learn that, if you live beyond your means, financially or physically, there will be real consequences for that. But mostly what I learned is that cask ale beers have a lot less carbonation and they're much easier on my digestive system.